I probably shouldn't show you this tool, but it's too fun to pass up. It's called the Transform tool. To set this up, I'm going to duplicate my layer, and I'm going to select this pepper, but I'm going to select it by selecting the outside first. So I'm using a magic wand. At least I was trying to. Okay, there we go. And you notice all the white is selected. The marching ants is going around the white. But I want the pepper selected, so I'm going to, on my keyboard, press Control-Shift-I, the letter I, for inverse. And then what that does, it will reverse the selection so that inside is selected instead. Now I want to isolate the pepper on its own layer. I could do it a number of ways. I could do Control-C, Control-V. And that's probably the simplest thing to do, so that it pops up on its own layer, leaving the original intact. So I'll hide those for now. All right. Now the T tool, the Transform tool, you can get to it through the Edit menu by going down to Free Transform or Transform. I prefer using the shortcut or cheat code Control-T, and that will pop up these sizing handles. And you can change the size. Holding the Shift key down will keep the proportions, but I am interested in reshaping this pepper. To do that, I'm going to go over to this button here, which is called the Warp tool, and click on that. And you'll get a grid, and along points of the grid you can adjust the size a little bit more precisely. So I'm going to make this pepper grow. Now there's a number of things you can do with this, and your imagination will have to guide you a little bit, but there are times where you have to enlarge something in the background, or you want to adjust the size of one of the supporting subjects in the frame, things like that. I'm going to click check. So there's what it looks like now. Here's before, and there's after. All right, I'm going to delete this layer and start over. I could also go to the Edit menu and choose Transform and try the different features here, like perspective, and that will do something like that with the canvas but not the image. So I'm going to go cancel, and again I'm going to use the magic wand, Control-Shift-I to inverse, Control-C, Control-V, get it on its own layer. Alright, and then I'll go back up to Edit, Transform, and I'll try Perspective. And then that does change the perspective, the angle that you look at. I'm not going to show you the rest of them. I'd like you to try on your own. Let me cancel that. But again, go to the Edit, Free Transform, Transform, or Control-T to bring up the Transform tool. Play around with the warp, but keep in mind it would be best if you would select whatever you're going to transform and then copy and paste it into its own layer so you can isolate what you're doing. All right, give it a try.